Contact Report 424 Translation. The newest in regard to matters of extraterrestrials, UFOs, Pleiadiens/Pleiadiens, contacts, abductions, examination contacts and implants.
Aha. Then, another question regarding the flights of extraterrestrial spaceships in Earth's airspace that numbered 3,000 per year according to you. Must one assume that these spaceships only belong to you or your Federation? In this regard you have never given an explanation. And what was with Kenneth Arnold, who in the 1940s saw several UFOs while flying in his private airplane? And what about Betty and Barney Hill, who were allegedly abducted by aliens, like many others who have talked about contacts and abductions as well as medical examinations etc. while under hypnosis? And what about the Giza jerks, and the Syrian men in black, and their associates as well as the Brazilian group?
No, that is not the way it is. In the last 200 years, there were also a few others apart from us, and various others from our Federation, who flew into Earth's space. On the whole, however, the 3,000 flights taking place per year are traceable to us and to our Federation, as well as to ASCID, and in a few cases to beings foreign to Earth who later on joined our Federation. The number of flights has decreased drastically to a number of 12 per year since then, and these flights relate to our work with you and our visits. Except one, all the beings foreign to Earth who flew into Earth's space have joined our Federation after we contacted them, as I have already said. As to the Giza intelligences and the Syrian men in black, that is another matter which leads back many thousands of years, whereas the Brazilian group consisted of former Nazis who were able to take over an object of the Giza intelligences, what we also were able to find out. This group does not exist anymore today, and the Giza intelligences were sent into exile and are becoming extinct. In addition, the men in black were rounded up and taken into custody through forces of their home world after their last evil attacks against you. They also do not pose a threat anymore. In respect to Kenneth Arnold, we have found out through our 3-year investigations that he did not observe any extraterrestrial flying objects, but secret US test flights of one-winged aircraft. This is also true for various other cases of that time, which, however, was not only limited to the USA, but also took place in other countries that tested futuristic aircraft, which still happens today. The Giza intelligences transposed via teleprojection apparent realities with visionary experiences into a few others, like Dan Fry and Schmidt etc., who then considered these as reality. Many others, however, were and still are only liars and deceivers with alleged contacts that never took place or are not taking place. What has to be said in respect to the married couple Hill, and all other persons who were allegedly abducted or even medically harmed, or who supposedly had implants implanted, and who under hypnosis exposed these occurrences, is that these occurrences have never happened, and are nothing but illusions, imagination, delusions and deliberate lies, as well as also schizophrenic illusionary products and disturbances of consciousness brought forth through the interference of electromagnetic fields of the Earth, through which unrealities, unreal happenings as well as unreal memories and unreal experiences are caused, but also unreal pain, fear and unreal perceptions and so forth. The disrupted electromagnetic fields of the Earth have been the cause of the untrue memories of the Hills. All these factors will become or could be knowingly or unknowingly manipulated, which means that the hypnotized describe their unreal happenings and unrealities etc. as reality, or that liars and deceivers are able to maintain their deliberate lies and deceit under hypnosis. Hypnosis, namely, is in no means capable of finding out the truth in such or other cases. Altogether, in earlier time, every incident in this respect we accepted as the truth, like contacts between Earth's human beings and beings foreign to Earth as well as abductions by beings foreign to Earth. However, they have been proven wrong through our newest technology according to investigations for such incidents that go back to the early times of the 20th and the 19th century. As we did not master this extremely valuable technology in former times, we unfortunately have been led astray in regard to all these matters. Because of this, and also of the lies and deception of many of Earth's human beings in regard to the aforementioned. We have unfortunately let ourselves be deceived in respect to alleged contacts between human beings of Earth and beings foreign to Earth, but also in regard to alleged abductions and examination contacts, etc. All contacts were made only through impulse contacts through a telepathic transmission device with which we usually contacted various and higher educated human beings of Earth to provide information. However, these people did not know that we were contacting them in this manner. Neither did the many scientists, for example Einstein and other notable human beings of Earth, who we provided information in the same way, which have led to progress in technology and medicine, etc. Then there were the teachers in India who taught you. They had in part physical and in part conscious telepathic contacts with us, whereas at first my father's Fath and thereafter Askit were the important persons for these contacts. In the last century, only one unintentional contact took place in South America, whereby the space travelers came from another space-time structure from the region of Alpha Centauri. The contacts between us and human beings of Earth are all known to you, and it must be added that all these contact persons have all died and kept silent about their contacts, if they were at all conscious of them, which was only so in rare cases. Usually we only kept up impulse telepathic contacts, and the persons on the receiving end did not have any knowledge of it. And what must also be said is that today one-sided contacts like that are not carried out anymore. All investigations that we could carry out in the past 3 years were only made possible by our newest technology, which we had received from a people befriended with Askit. Only through this new technology from the technologically highly developed center was it possible for us to investigate in the most exact and detailed manner many years into the past, and to find the truth in all those things that we accepted as truth for about 100 years, although they were wrong and did not represent the truth. Through the possibility, still incomprehensible for us, that human beings of Earth are able to bathe in lies and presumptions, which do not represent the truth, we have, as already mentioned, let ourselves be deceived and led astray. The possibility to say something different than it is in truth is the reason why we consider the alleged contact stories of various human beings of Earth to be the truth, and designated people as contact persons who in reality had not been such.
Then all the so-called UFOs, which were observed in the last century, were spaceships from you, your Federation, and from those who joined your Federation after they had been contacted by you here on Earth? And what about Roswell? Do the beings foreign to Earth, which were bioorganic androids, belong to you as well?
Of course, not all so-called UFOs were spaceships of beings foreign to Earth, because the majority of all observations of such objects were and are still today based on earthly things. For example on electromagnetic or atmospheric phenomena, but also based on other natural occurring happenings, like swarms of insects or birds, dust formations and so forth, or on meteors from space. Apart from that, there were and still are many objects of futuristic forms of secret military origin belonging to different countries that were and still are described as UFOs or extraterrestrial flying craft by Earth human beings due to a lack of knowledge regarding the origin and construction of these objects. The sighting of UFOs is often also based on earthly flying machines such as airplanes and balloons of all types. What has to be said concerning Roswell is that we and our Federation and all beings foreign to Earth, and who were flying into Earth's space, and then joined our Federation, did not have anything to do with this incident.
May one ask, how many peoples foreign to Earth, which flew into Earth's space, and which you contacted, joined your Federation? And how many persons were involved in your investigation of 3 years? Were it only Florena, and Jana, and their friends and you?
During the entire last and second last century, the 20th and the 19th century respectively, there had been 5 visitors foreign to Earth, which joined our Federation. In another case, this was not possible because we were not able to contact them. In this new century and millennium nothing has happened yet, which is not yet to be expected, because populated planets are very far from Earth, and not many find their way to Earth, although they are able to master space travel technology, which is the exception rather than the rule. There were 427 persons involved in the investigation that was of special interest to us.
Man, that is a large number of people. So, you have spent the last 3 years investigating contacts in regard to beings foreign to Earth and found that no contacts have taken place between beings foreign to Earth and human beings of Earth, except in the few cases that are known to me and pertinent to you Pleiadiens and your Federation. Is your knowledge now complete? You once said that you would not be able to watch over the entire Earth, therefore, that under circumstances some flights and so forth could be missed by you.
That is right. For a long time, we were not able to watch altogether everything pertaining to flights of beings foreign to Earth. But now through our newest technology, we could investigate the whole of the 19th and the 20th century, and the first years of the 21st century. The result of this investigation is that it is how I told you on my last visit on June the 10th, and how I have said it now. The fact is that since 1800 until now 2006 the flying objects observed from outer space solely belonged to us Pleiadiens and the 5 others mentioned who joined our Federation, and those we could not contact and have remained foreign to us. The thing about Roswell is another and special case, because back then bioorganic androids were found. And one also has to say now, that when flying machines as well as delimited disks originating from outer space are seen, then these belong only to us Pleiadiens and our Federation. Contacts with Earthlings do not take place, and apart from the contact with you, no other contacts exist. That will only change when other beings foreign to Earth land openly and take up contacts, which will only happen then when we have left.
Indeed, disappointing. Everything, therefore, is nonsense and idle talk, as to the claims made by many people that they have been having contacts with extraterrestrials, and would continue in such, and had and would have the opportunity to fly with them in spaceships, or claim that the possibility of channeling or telepathic contacts, and so on was given.
This is absolutely true. Channeling is pure nonsense, and everyone claiming to be capable of telepathy is not capable of it. In fact, it is really as you say, for in one instance only, a true contact between a human being foreign to Earth and a human being of Earth is given, and that is between you and us. But these events, which otherwise occurred between human beings foreign to Earth and Earth's human beings and are known to you, however, do not apply to any persons who are still alive, and maintain to have had contacts with human beings foreign to Earth, or would still have these contacts. Yet my words are not intended for all those who were having impulse contacts through us during the last and second last century, but it has to be mentioned, however, that they had no conscious knowledge of these impulse contacts. The few exceptions in recent times like Anatole and Petra and so on, as well as the unique occurrence in Brazil regarding the Alpha Centauri contact and the one in connection with Elsa Schroeder and my daughter Simyazarin's Idan/Persia and so on, are not mentioned and moreover are known to you.
This I know. But this very conversation now taking place between you and me will call many opponents to the fore, accusing us, especially me, of lying, because it could not be that only the contacts between you and me would be in accordance with the fact and truth, whereas everything else is lies, deception, imagination and illusion as well as illusion and so on. The world of UFO believers, and UFO fanatics, and those believing in extraterrestrials will scream and howl. And especially the self-appointed specialists and experts in matters of UFOs and extraterrestrials will also come forth, and scream falsehood and deceit in the same way as UFO opponents and other self-appointed experts and specialists in this line of thought who have always maintained that as a whole everything was only deception and fraud, delusion or chimera and so on. However, it will also be the UFO esoterics and the like-minded UFO sectarians who climb on the same accusatory bandwagon as well as all those stuck in fantasies who believe that extraterrestrials live among human beings and would be present at any meetings and assemblies of UFO believers etc. This is also case with the nonsense of seances where the departed are supposed to be present, or could be called to join. Completely crazy ones even claim that extraterrestrials participate in Earth governments and would direct and control the destiny of Earth and its humankind.
That it will be so is certain, because truth is not only disenchanting, however, also frightening, and it shatters the illusions, hopes, desires, imaginations and delusions, and so on of many believers in UFOs. However, those believing in UFOs, and many others wish to be cheated and led into delusion, and do not acknowledge the truth, just as those believing in religions and sectarians. They neither wish to see nor recognize nor acknowledge the truth, because they are caught by their belief and their illusions, which they are holding high above all truth and reality. As a rule, to free themselves of this belief is impossible, because it is equal to a hereditary disease, which needs a very long time to be healed, and can only be overcome by reason and understanding. Likewise it is with opponents, because their reason and understanding is breaking down as well, however, in a different manner than that according to the believers in regard to imagined extraterrestrials and their spaceships, as well as so-called contacts and abductions and so on. However, also opponents fall into a belief, as well as those who know everything better and those who negate, and this likewise does not let them recognize and acknowledge the truth. They are just as sick in believing as all the other believers.
Very well, then if unidentified flying objects were seen in Earth's space, then they belong to you, your federation, or to your later federation, and in 2 cases to the foreigners that you could not contact, if I include Roswell. And as the contacts through extraterrestrials with Earth humans, then all but 1 case lead back to your federation, and all of the contact persons have died, and none of the ones that have for years been saying that they were having contacts with you or with other extraterrestrials belong to them, and that they also call you Pleiadiens, because at the beginning we said as a precaution that you called yourselves Pleiadiens to then later uncover the lies of such persons. Then, when the lies had multiplied, and the world was full of such claims of persons who said they were having contacts with you, we came out into the open and revealed from where you really come from, and how you call yourselves in fact Pleiadiens and not Pleiadiens. All the liars have in this way exposed themselves, even though they are still trying to save face by weaving more lies. At what stage is the general control as to further flights of beings foreign to Earth?
Should further flights take place, although we do not expect any, we would of course inform you. And what has to be said and can only be said again and again and has often been said, regarding contacts between Earth humans and foreigners to Earth, is that you are the only person in the whole world who is capable of having contacts with us Pleiadiens and those belonging to our Federation. And also in this respect, no other contacts of any kind are taking place between other beings foreign to Earth and Earth's human beings, because no other beings foreign to Earth exist, apart from us, who are operating in this way in Earth's space. And no more in conjunction with us has to be said regarding the tissue of lies of the alleged contact persons, because the facts tell the whole story.
Yes, I know. You have spoken clearly and precisely. Now, something else. Florena told me that you are again cloaking your ships for safety reasons, and that you only let yourselves be seen very rarely, if at all. May I ask you why? Another question regarding your federation. You once said that it stretches over many dimensions or space-time structures, and over 50 million light-years. May I ask you, how many different dimensions your federation consists of?
The reasons for the safety precautions are of a kind, which I cannot openly name, but to you, only if you keep silent. If nonetheless our ships are sighted on different locations in Earth's space, and these are solely of extraterrestrial origin, then this has to do with special duties to be carried out, during which the cloaking has to be disabled. And it has to be said in regard to our Federation, that it is spread out over 3 dimensions, and that our 2 dimensions, ours and yours, are included.
Then I do not want to know anything in respect to safety precautions. And anyway, it is time for me, because